What's up? What's up? What's poppin'? Hey, yo, it's Nate Dogg, 916, coming at you live from Sacramento. Hey, you know what it is, man. Y'all hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification bell if you want to keep catching my content, right? Make sure you share my videos, comment if you got something to say. I try to respond to every comment, but if it's not based in the question, I might missed it. But I try to respond to every comment because I appreciate all my supporters. Now today, first of all, shout out to Neil Tazad. Big shout out to Neil Tazad. I really rock with bruh. So let's just start with that, right? But check me out, right? Let's not get nothing misconstrued. I made a video saying that, some cats had to do stuff and some cats did it because that's how they were built, right? Right? And let's be real clear to the fact that, hey, there's people that's built like that in every core. In every car, every race, there's cats that's really built like that. You ain't got to tell them to do nothing. They eager, willing, and ready to do all the work. All the work. It don't matter if they just got out from doing some work. They ready to do some more work. And in every car, in every race, it's a whole bunch of people that almost have to be forced. If there wasn't the threat of danger or threat of violence, they probably wouldn't do nothing at all. Nothing. Like, not saying they cowards. Not saying that. I'm not talking about the cowards. The cowards ain't gonna do nothing anyway. I'm talking about the cats that really just want to do their time and go home. They really don't want to have to get it popping. And they may have come to gangs or whatever as a means for protection, not realizing that at some point, you got to get it popping too, man. Everybody can't just stand on the sideline. Now, me personally, I've never been ordered by anyone to do anything. Have I had requests? I've had requests not to do stuff. I've had requests not to do stuff to certain people for certain reasons. But as far as anybody ever telling me, hey, you gotta take this weapon and go do this, never. Never. Now, I have definitely been in situations where there was a round table, meeting, whatever, and certain individuals have come up and their offenses have come up. And I have been the one to say, hey, I handle it. And let's be clear too, a torpedo is something you send. A hand raiser is somebody who volunteers. I was definitely not a torpedo. Every piece of work that I put in while incarcerated and or out here on the streets before I went to prison was each and every time something that I wanted to do. I've never really been that much of a follower. I've always been pretty much rock by my own tune type dude. Yeah, I followed the basic rules of the group that I was a part of, but I was still, like, I get to certain yards and cats be on some not really wanting to get no trouble type because the yard is real functioning, like it's really like it's a lot of money on the yard, it's a lot of illegal activities going on, a lot of drugs moving, so everybody getting paid, so cats get comfortable and they want to stay there. And mind you, I have been at prisons where I was at more than a couple years because of this incident, because of this type of stuff. But I was still always the type that never would put, just because I can get some money or because this yard is cool and we programming, make that affect my decision on whether it was time to do something or not do something. If it was time to go and it was time to get somebody, then it was time to get somebody. And just because everybody else was afraid to do it, that don't mean I was going to be afraid to do it. And please don't take this to insinuate that I thought I was the toughest guy on the yard, or nah, not at all. Not at all. I wasn't. I just wasn't afraid to stand on what I believed in and stand on what I was about. I wasn't afraid on that side. And that made me stand out a little different than some people, because some people didn't want to mess off their visits, or mess off their canteen, or go to the hole, mess off not having a yard, or having a TV, or whatever fake privileges they gave you. A lot of people didn't want to mess that off. And I just wasn't the guy that was hesitant when it came to messing mine off. And I mean, that might sound stupid to some of you people. That might sound ignorant. But I promise you it was a means to an end. It was all a means to an end. I had the type of mentality that I was always going to stand on business. I was always going to stand on business. Like, I could have a family. I got into an incident 2 days before my family visit. Before I was supposed to go on a family visit. Already scheduled, paid for, everything. Some work came up. Everybody was acting lightweight, nervous to go do the work. I was like, I'll do it. And I was irritated, like, man, y'all. And the dudes I was around there know who I'm talking about. At the time, I was like, man, y'all some suckers, man. Yeah, that's crazy. Man, I'll do it. Y'all gonna let, and I didn't say this part, but the cool part, y'all gonna let me go put in this work, knowing I got a family visit, knowing I'm getting out in 4 years. You'll let me go risk catching more time, more life, whatever. You'll let me go do it. You won't raise your hand. You got a life sentence. You got double life. Y'all won't raise your hand and go do it. You'll let me go do it, the short termer, because you don't want to mess off your program. Some people weren't 100% dedicated to it, I guess, And hey, I've even met people that were in the same cell on the same yard for 10 years. The same cell, same yard. Needless to say, I didn't associate. And it was time, and when it was time for that person to leave, I was like, yep, it's time for him to go. And he left. And in that situation, and you guys could judge. So that individual was locked in with another homeboy from the city, both from Sac, neither one of them from my neighborhood. I think one was from Meadowview, one was from Oak Park. And they was like, okay, I'm going to have my girl bring the work in. She'll give it to you in the visiting room. You get it, then you bring it back. We'll make the cut how we make the cut. Well, I guess the camera caught it. The camera caught the handoff. They came inside, and then the guards came in. The dude who had it, who was supposed to be bringing it in, throws it under the table. Now, the tables are only like knee high, mind you. Throws it under the table. But the camera had already caught the other individual handing it off, right? Okay. So, instead of saying, oh, you got me, this guy says when they ask for the statement, that ain't mine. But the camera showed you throwing it under the table. You had already accepted the responsibility of bringing that in. You got caught. You fumbled. But you didn't take the case. You let the other guy take the case. And mind you, the other guy, they both had life, but the other guy was in the hole. You come back to the yard. Now, me being from Sacramento, and some others being from Sacramento, and a young relative of mine who happened to be from the same neighborhood as the dude who's in the hole still, comes to me, asks me, what do I think about the situation? What does it say on the write-up? That ain't mine. So if they on camera and they seen the handoff of something, but they couldn't actually see what it was, and then you throw the illegal paraphernalia under your table, and you say it's not yours, but they saying there was a handoff between you two, that's dry snitching, right? Is that dry snitching? Y'all tell me in the comments. Needless to say, I told the young relative of mine, man, to me, that's dry snitching. So what you still standing here talking to me for? You right, you right, you right. And he wasn't no sucker. He went right down there and took off. So, like I said, man, hey, every group got riders. Y'all just got to understand what the definition of rider is. Rider is not someone that is willing to go to war or willing to participate in the war. A rider is somebody who's willing to start the war, if it comes to that. Y'all can listen to whoever y'all want, man. I'm going to just tell you the truth. Stay loyal.